Have you ever glanced up at the sky and felt as if the clouds were staring back at you? Or perhaps a fleeting smile appeared, etched in a drifting cotton-white shape? Tonight, we're going to wander together through skies that whisper and discover why our minds are drawn to see faces where none truly exist. Imagine lying on soft grass, the warm earth cradling you, as the sky stretches endlessly above. Wisps of clouds glide like dancers in slow motion, forming shapes that tease your imagination. Some familiar, some strange. Each drift, each curl of vapor, seems almost intentional, as if the sky itself were trying to communicate with you. This gentle phenomenon, where our brains perceive faces in random patterns, is called pareidolia. It's why a shadow in a tree might look like a wise old face, why the moon's surface can seem to peer back at us, and why clouds can suddenly feel like playful companions. Tonight, we'll explore the science, the psychology, and even the poetry behind this quiet wonder. As we drift through this hour together, allow yourself to notice every subtle shift in the clouds, every shape that flits across the sky. No rush, no expectation, just observation and the quiet marvel of your mind at work. You may see a friendly face, a thoughtful gaze, or something that evokes a memory, and that's perfectly okay. If you're watching from somewhere under the same vast sky, leave a comment below with your city. Let's feel connected by the same wandering clouds. And if you want to continue these nightly journeys through wonder and gentle science, subscribe to The Thoughtful Night and let curiosity guide you before sleep. Tonight, we'll drift between the science of our brains and the poetry of the sky. We'll learn why faces appear in clouds, why your mind is drawn to them, and why this simple, fleeting experience has enchanted humans for millennia. And perhaps, by the end of our journey, the next time you look up, you'll notice something new floating above you. A face, a thought, a gentle reminder that the universe is quietly alive in your imagination. So let's begin. Breathe softly, let your eyes follow the clouds, and allow yourself to wonder. The sky stretches above, pale and endless, a canvas of soft drifting clouds. You lie back, noticing the gentle sway of air, the slow glide of wisps that seem almost purposeful. One moment, a cloud curls like a delicate wave. The next, it elongates into a ribbon that brushes the horizon. Your attention drifts, following each movement, each subtle transformation. In these quiet moments, your mind begins to wander. It is drawn to shapes, to patterns that emerge and dissolve. A small knot of vapor appears almost like a face, two darker spots suggesting eyes, a curved shadow hinting at a smile. You notice it but do not question it. Your brain recognizes a familiar form in the randomness, and a gentle thrill of recognition passes through you. This is pareidolia, the quiet, magical tendency of the human mind to find meaning where none was intentionally placed. It is why we see faces in clouds, shadows on walls, or even the textures of toasted bread. It is an ancient skill, rooted deep in survival and connection. Faces are especially important to us. They convey emotion, intention, and safety. Recognizing a face quickly can mean the difference between danger and security, between loneliness and companionship. Even now, as you watch the sky, your brain scans for eyes, noses, mouths, signals that matter. Neurons fire in the visual cortex, forming a map of light and shadow. Tiny flashes of recognition ripple through your mind like gentle fireworks. You do not need to analyze. Simply observe. The sky becomes a moving gallery, each cloud a brushstroke, each wisp a tentative suggestion of life. Pattern recognition is not limited to the sky. On your morning walk, the knots of tree bark might suggest eyes peering from an ancient forest. Streetlights, puddles, and shadows arrange themselves in shapes that feel familiar, momentarily enlivening your imagination. The world itself offers a subtle invitation to notice, to imagine, and to find joy in perception. Clouds are simply the most transient, fluid form of this gentle art. Some clouds might appear as soft animals. A rabbit frozen mid-leap, a bird stretching its wings, a whale arching through a dreamlike ocean of air. Others might suggest faces, serene, mischievous, or thoughtful. You may even see fleeting expressions that echo your own mood, as though the sky responds to the subtle currents within your mind. There is no right or wrong face. The mind projects and interprets according to experience, memory, and feeling. This recognition, so ordinary and so effortless, connects you to countless others across time. Humans have always seen faces in clouds, rocks, and flickering shadows. Ancient storytellers traced shapes in the sky and imagined spirits or gods smiling down. Children point out fantastical forms, wide-eyed and delighted. And in this, there is a shared humanity, a reminder that imagination and perception are gifts that belong to everyone, everywhere. Allow yourself to breathe slowly as you watch the sky. Notice the edges of each cloud, the interplay of light and shade. The shapes do not need to last. They shift, dissolve, and recombine. Each transformation is part of the experience. Each moment of recognition brings a quiet, subtle pleasure. There is calm in this gentle noticing, a meditation on impermanence and attention. As you observe, consider how the mind brings coherence to chaos. Random clouds with no intent or pattern are transformed by your perception into faces, animals, or abstract forms. Your brain favors faces above all else because we are social beings, wired for empathy and connection. Faces in clouds are reminders of your intrinsic ability to see life in even the most fleeting shapes. Some forms may linger in your imagination after the clouds have moved on. You may recall them later as if they were tiny, secret gifts from the sky. And yet, the next cloud drift may erase them entirely, leaving only the sense of wonder and curiosity. There is a meditation in this, the recognition that beauty, like memory, is temporary, and yet infinitely renewing. Let your eyes soften, your gaze unhurried, as you trace the flowing contours above. Your attention floats from one cloud to the next, discovering faces where none were painted, patterns where none were drawn. You are both observer and participant, a quiet witness to the art of perception. Tonight, as the sky drifts and your mind settles, notice how simple it is to find faces, shapes, and fleeting stories in clouds. The brain's gift of pareidolia is not a trick. It is a tender invitation to wonder, to connect, and to play with the world's infinite imagination. Each cloud, a fleeting whisper. Each face, a reminder of the mind's gentle, ceaseless curiosity. And so, the clouds drift on, and you drift with them, noticing, imagining, and quietly marveling at the simple, profound act of seeing shapes. The forest floor is dappled with sunlight, leaves trembling as the breeze passes through. A moss-covered rock catches your eye. At first, it seems ordinary, just another fragment of earth. But then, two indentations near its top suggest eyes. A shadowed line below hints at a mouth. A face emerges, unbidden, a quiet companion in the stillness. You pause and smile, sensing a subtle magic in this simple perception. Pareidolia is not confined to clouds. It follows you wherever attention meets randomness. Tree bark, with its knotted ridges, can suggest a laughing old man or a hidden creature peering from the woods. River stones, smoothed by years of water, sometimes hint at familiar shapes, faces that were never painted but are waiting for a mind to notice. The world itself offers these moments, small gifts for the patient observer. Even mountains hold secrets. From a distance, jagged peaks may resemble solemn faces gazing across valleys, expressions carved by erosion and time. In certain cultures, these natural faces become sacred, spirits inhabiting the landscape, guardians of the land. Ancient myths tell of mountains that are alive, watching over the people below, their features forming with sunlight and shadow, wind and snow. You realize that your mind is not merely creating. It is participating in a dialogue that humans have shared for millennia. Water reflections amplify the enchantment. A pond may ripple in gentle waves, and a passing cloud or a leaf creates fleeting shapes. A reflection of a tree may curve into a face, its eyes alive with light, mouth smiling softly in the shimmer. You notice how motion enhances perception, how impermanence invites wonder. Each reflection is temporary, Yet each moment carries the same quiet delight, a small pulse of connection between mind and nature. Cultures around the world have told stories inspired by these patterns. In Japan, some see fox spirits in twisted roots or shadows on rocks. In Native American lore, the wind and stones are alive with faces of ancestors, guiding those who walk the land. Greek myths spoke of gods' visages hidden in landscapes, watching over humanity. Even today, children point at patterns in the bark, delighted by the unexpected faces that seem to look back. You feel a kinship across time and space, as if your quiet noticing ties you to countless observers who have looked, imagined, and marveled before. Consider how the mind works in these moments. Neural pathways, trained over millennia, scan for patterns and familiarity. Faces are prioritized because they matter to survival and social life, but the effect spills into every corner of perception. When you notice a face in moss or stone, your brain is gently flexing, creating coherence in randomness. This is not deception. It is play, creativity, and curiosity woven into cognition. Pause and breathe slowly as you wander through a grove or along a riverbank. Look at rocks, branches, and shadows with soft eyes. Let your mind drift freely over the shapes. Perhaps a knot in the bark resembles a wise, wrinkled elder. Perhaps a shadow on a stone seems mischievous, tilting its head like a companion inviting you into a story. There is no need to force recognition. Simply notice and allow shapes to emerge naturally, like clouds forming in the sky. Even the smallest details offer wonder. A lichen pattern may curve into a tiny face. A cluster of pebbles may suggest eyes staring back from the earth. Your attention, gentle and undemanding, transforms ordinary objects into a gallery of subtle, silent life. This is Pareidolia as meditation, a way of seeing that asks nothing of you except presence, curiosity, and patience. The emotional resonance of these discoveries is subtle but profound. When you see a face in nature, a ripple of empathy and recognition passes through you. A smile forms without conscious thought. You feel a connection, however fleeting, to the unseen life in the world. It is a quiet reminder that perception is not passive. It is relational, engaging mind, heart, and imagination. You may notice that some faces evoke feelings aligned with your inner state. If calm, the faces appear gentle or serene. If playful, they seem mischievous, eyes sparkling in shadow. This is not coincidence. Your mind projects and interprets, bringing internal experiences into the perception of external forms. Nature becomes a mirror for imagination and emotion, each recognition a dialogue between inner and outer worlds. Even in urban spaces, pareidolia persists. Cracked walls, peeling paint, and patterned pavements suggest hidden expressions. Water stains on concrete may resemble faces in fleeting configurations. You are reminded that the world itself is alive with suggestion, waiting for patient, attentive eyes. Humans have always delighted in this play of perception, and it continues now in ways both subtle and profound. Let your gaze wander freely as you walk, sit, or rest. Notice the rocks, the trees, the ripples in water. Allow shapes to appear without striving. Each recognition is a gift, a small act of connection with the living patterns of the world. You are participating in an ancient practice of noticing, imagining, and marveling. When you return to the sky, to clouds drifting high above, you carry these experiences with you. Pareidolia is not confined to any single medium. It flows through rock, water, bark, mountain, and air, uniting the natural world with the fertile creativity of the human mind. In each observation, you practice a gentle art. The art of noticing, the art of connection, the art of finding life and meaning in the ordinary. And so, whether in the forest, by a river, or lying beneath clouds, your mind gently sifts through randomness, discovering faces and forms that spark wonder. You see the world not as a collection of objects but as a dynamic canvas, alive with patterns and stories, waiting for the quiet attention that brings them to life. You tilt your head back and let your eyes drift across the sky. It is a pale expanse, stretching endlessly, yet alive with movement. Clouds gather, dissolve, and reform, drifting on invisible currents. Their shapes are ever-changing, fleeting, never repeating. Each formation is unique, a temporary work of art painted across the blue. Look closely. One cloud stretches like a great whale gliding silently above a distant horizon. Another curls and folds like a delicate ribbon caught mid-air. A sudden puff resembles a castle tower, a cathedral spire, or the profile of a sleeping giant. Your mind reaches not to create, but to perceive, tracing forms and stories in these soft, drifting shapes. Clouds are a canvas, and your imagination is the brush. Clouds are more than mere patterns. They are weather in motion. Water vapor rises from oceans, lakes, and rivers, condensing into tiny droplets or ice crystals. These droplets cluster into clouds, carried aloft by winds, sculpted by temperature and pressure. The science is precise, yet the results appear whimsical and infinite. Every swirl, curl, or puff obeys nature's laws, yet each seems a deliberate stroke, as if the universe itself were painting. Notice how clouds transform over minutes and hours. A broad cumulus swells and darkens, shading the land beneath, then dissolves into mist. A high cirrus stream stretches thin and wispy, catching the sunlight in strands of gold and silver. You realize that nothing is fixed. Impermanence is woven into their essence. Your attention, quiet and observant, makes you witness to this ephemeral beauty, a privilege of mindfulness. Clouds invite imagination, but they also evoke memory and emotion. A cumulus drifting across a summer sky may remind you of childhood afternoons spent lying in grass, identifying dragons, ships, and animals among the white shapes. A gray, brooding formation may awaken a sense of introspection, a reflection of your inner storms. The sky becomes a mirror of thought and feeling, as clouds carry not just water, but the weight of perception. Artists through the ages have been captivated by clouds. Painters have studied their form, their light, their texture, attempting to capture their fleeting elegance on canvas. Poets have written verses to their ethereal grace, likening them to dreams or souls passing silently overhead. In each case, the observer discovers a truth. Clouds are both science and poetry, tangible yet untouchable, patterned yet free. Sometimes, clouds tell stories of the wind. Observe a bank of cirrostratus stretched thin across the horizon, its strands pointing eastward. The movement is subtle but precise. Each curl and wave records the motion of air, the temperature differences, the invisible dance of the atmosphere. In these patterns, you see both chaos and order, the unpredictable play of nature structured by laws you can trace but never fully control. Clouds invite contemplation of scale. You are small beneath the sky, a single consciousness among billions, looking up at forms larger than mountains yet lighter than a feather. Their expanse encourages humility, reminding you that the universe moves on rhythms far beyond your own. And yet, in noticing shapes, patterns, and stories, you participate, quietly, in this vast process. Your perception is a gentle act of connection. As light changes, clouds shift into new moods. The sun rises, spilling gold across edges, transforming shadows into shimmering depth. At dusk, fiery reds and soft purples stretch along the horizon, and clouds absorb and reflect, painting the sky with colors that fade as quickly as they appear. Even the smallest observer can feel awe, a quiet wonder that requires no words, only presence. Clouds are reminders that impermanence can be beautiful. Nothing lasts forever, yet the moment itself is complete. Watching a formation dissolve, knowing it will never exist again in the same shape, fosters acceptance. Your mind learns to appreciate the ephemeral, to embrace the transient nature of all things, as if each cloud were a meditation in motion. And so, you lie beneath the sky, or walk beneath it, eyes lifted, attention soft, discovering stories, faces, and forms. Clouds are moving canvases, paintings of vapor and light, shifting endlessly, reminding you that perception is an art as much as imagination. Each drift, curl, and swirl is a fleeting invitation to notice, to dream, to connect with the world and with your own inner mind. You sense that each cloud is a messenger of both science and poetry, a bridge between observation and emotion. They invite you to pause, to breathe, and to marvel. In this shared experience of impermanence, your awareness becomes both witness and participant, a quiet celebration of the world as it drifts, dissolves, and reforms above. Your eyes wander over the sky, lingering on a cloud that seems almost human in shape. A fleeting smile, a shadowed eye, a gentle curve of a cheek. Your mind insists on seeing a face. It is not magic, though it may feel enchanted. It is the delicate wiring of your brain, finely tuned over millennia to recognize faces, even where none exist. Deep within the folds of your brain lies a region called the fusiform face area, or FFA. It is a small but powerful network, a hidden guardian that scans the visual world for the presence of faces. The FFA wakes almost instinctively, alert for eyes, noses, lips, expressions. This vigilance has kept humans alive, helping us recognize friends, foes, and subtle changes in emotion that signal danger or opportunity. Imagine neurons in the FFA firing like tiny lightning bolts across a darkened sky. Each flash represents recognition, a spark of familiarity in a vast sea of shapes. As you watch the clouds, your brain quietly decodes each pattern, comparing it to countless faces stored in memory. It is an intricate dance of biology, where perception meets imagination, and science begins to feel like poetry. Beyond the FFA, the visual cortex contributes layers of interpretation. It processes edges, contrasts, light and shadow, subtly shaping what emerges in your mind. The combination of these neural regions allows you to see not just shapes, but emotion. A cloud's curve may read as a smile, a swirl as a frown, though no true expression exists. Your brain projects life onto the lifeless, a gentle collaboration between observation and expectation. It is fascinating to consider how quickly this recognition occurs. In a fraction of a second, your brain can detect a face, even when it is hidden in shadows, bark, or mist. This speed is crucial for survival, but it also explains why clouds, rocks, and patterns in water provoke the same instinctual reaction. Your mind cannot resist. It seeks meaning, connection, familiarity. Notice how emotion becomes intertwined with perception. When you see a face in a cloud, it may seem joyful, sorrowful, or thoughtful. Often, these projections mirror your own inner state. A calm, relaxed mind may perceive gentle smiles, while a restless mind might catch anxious or pensive expressions. The clouds become a canvas not only for your imagination, but for your feelings, reflecting the subtle currents of consciousness. This neural predisposition is called pareidolia, the tendency to perceive familiar forms in random stimuli. It is a phenomenon both scientific and poetic, a bridge between perception and narrative. Scientists study it with images, tests, and brain scans, revealing the precise circuits that spark recognition. Yet no diagram can fully capture the quiet delight of noticing a dragon-shaped cloud or a cherubic face drifting across a twilight sky. There is a meditative quality to understanding these processes, knowing that each spark in the brain, each tiny electric pulse, contributes to the unfolding of wonder does not diminish it. Rather, it deepens the experience. You can imagine your neurons lighting up, tracing invisible pathways, connecting past encounters with present perceptions. You are both observer and observed, the witness of your own cognition. Consider, too, the interplay between expectation and perception. Your brain is predictive, always anticipating faces where patterns suggest them. Sometimes it is correct, sometimes it invents. Both outcomes offer subtle satisfaction, a small revelation in the silent theater of thought. Each cloud, each shadow, becomes an experiment, a gentle reminder of the mind's power to create meaning from ambiguity. Even the smallest details matter. A tiny flicker of light on a cloud's edge can become a glimmering eye. A curl of vapor can form a mouth. Your FFA and visual cortex, collaborating with memory and emotion, assemble these fragments into recognizable forms. The brain, in its quiet brilliance, is a storyteller, translating the language of nature into the language of human experience. This neural narrative also explains why faces are so compelling. We are social beings. Connection is wired into our survival. Seeing a face, even in the sky, evokes empathy, curiosity, and engagement. A cloud that resembles a friend or a stranger can evoke a fleeting conversation within your mind, a story whispered across the atmosphere. You feel both a thrill and a calm acknowledgement of life, even when life is imagined. As your mind wanders among these invisible neural fires, you begin to notice the subtle rhythm of attention. Watching clouds becomes a meditation on perception itself. The brain's desire to interpret, to recognize, to connect, mirrors your own desire to rest, to wonder, and to dream. In this overlap of biology and experience, you find a gentle harmony, a quiet resonance that encourages both awe and relaxation. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect is the universality of this experience. Every human brain, more or less, carries the same structures, the same circuits, the same tendency to see faces in ambiguity. Across cultures, continents, and centuries, people have gazed at clouds, rocks, and shadows, finding faces and stories. The neuroscience is universal, yet the experience is deeply personal, a shared trait that binds all of humanity together through the simple act of noticing. And so, as you observe the clouds, drifting and dissolving above, you feel the soft pulse of recognition within your own mind. Each shape becomes a fleeting friend, a brief companion in the quiet sky. You do not need to name it or hold on to it. Simply seeing, simply feeling is enough. Your brain, with all its complexity, offers the gift of wonder, an invitation to marvel at the ephemeral beauty of the world and the even more mysterious beauty of your own perception. You tilt your head toward the drifting clouds, searching again for shapes that whisper stories. The face you see is not yours alone. It belongs, in a sense, to countless eyes across time and space. Humans everywhere have gazed upward, discovering reflections of themselves and the mysteries of their world in the ever-shifting sky. Across continents, faces and clouds have inspired myths, legends, and subtle teachings, a silent conversation between imagination and meaning. In ancient Greece, clouds were more than vapor. They carried whispers of the gods. Zeus, watching from Mount Olympus, might appear in a stormy swirl, his beard a cascade of silver lightning. Athena's gaze could be glimpsed in the delicate curves of a morning cloud, teaching vigilance and wisdom. To see a face in the sky was to glimpse the divine, a bridge between human perception and the ineffable. Far to the east, in China, clouds were not only omens but expressions of harmony. Dragons, phoenixes, and celestial beings were imagined in drifting formations, each shape holding symbolic weight. A smiling face could represent fortune or protection, a stern expression, a warning or a lesson. The sky became a living canvas, reflecting not just nature but the values and stories of the people who watched it. Indigenous cultures around the world have their own traditions. Among the Native American tribes, clouds carried ancestral voices. Faces seen in vapor were interpreted as the presence of spirits, guiding, teaching, or simply reminding the living of continuity and connection. Each formation was a storybook, unfolding slowly across the sky, and each observer became a reader, a listener, a participant in the sacred narrative. This interplay between perception and culture is fascinating. Your brain seeks patterns, yes, but the stories you attach to them are shaped by history, language, and belief. The neural circuits of recognition remain constant, but the narrative is fluid. A curved cloud might be a playful spirit in one culture, a revered ancestor in another, a whimsical dragon in a third. The same neural spark ignites vastly different meanings, showing how perception is inseparable from context, imagination, and memory. Consider the medieval Europeans, who often looked skyward for portents. Faces in clouds or even in smoke from fires were seen as messages. Perhaps a sorrowful visage warned of famine, or a joyful expression heralded peace. The FFA in their brains fired just as it does in yours, but the interpretation carried layers of ritual, superstition, and anticipation. Recognition was universal. Meaning was uniquely human. Even in modern times, Pareidolia inspires wonder, storytelling, and humor. You might see a famous actor in a cloud or a friend's face. Artists and photographers capture these fleeting images, transforming random vapor into enduring inspiration. In cartoons, clouds with eyes and mouths speak directly to our innate desire for connection, echoing the deep biological roots that have guided your ancestors for millennia. There is a gentle meditation in realizing this universality. Your fascination with a cloud face is both ancient and personal. It connects you to Greeks on mountaintops, Chinese scholars under twilight skies, native elders around campfires, medieval villagers trembling at storm clouds. Across time and culture, humans have shared this small miracle, the ability to recognize, to imagine, to find meaning in the ephemeral. Notice, too, how interpretation changes with emotion. A calm mind may see gentle smiles and playful animals. A grieving heart may perceive sorrow or solemn faces. The sky becomes a mirror, reflecting not only myth and culture, but the subtleties of your inner life. Neural sparks meet personal history, producing perception that is both objective and profoundly subjective. And yet, there is humility in these glimpses. The faces you see are not real in the material sense. They are projections, emergent patterns, temporary arrangements of molecules, yet they feel alive. They remind you that perception is an art as much as it is science. You are both witness and participant, creating meaning even as you marvel at nature's randomness. This intersection of culture and neuroscience teaches a quiet truth. Meaning is a human gift. The clouds do not need you to notice them. They drift regardless of your gaze. Yet your mind transforms randomness into story, shadow into expression, and fleeting vapor into something eternal in memory. Recognition, imagination, and culture converge, forming a tapestry that is at once biological and poetic, instinctive and deeply human. As the clouds shift and dissolve, you realize the faces you saw were never meant to stay. They are ephemeral teachers, reminding you to notice, to imagine, to interpret. The sky is a classroom, the clouds your lessons, and the neural fires within your FFA the attentive students. With each fleeting form, you learn something about perception, about culture, about the deep intertwining of biology and story. Perhaps most importantly, this experience is an invitation to wonder. To see a face in a cloud is to embrace curiosity, to engage the mind's natural instincts, and to honor the stories that have carried humanity through time. Recognition becomes meditation. Imagination becomes connection. You are reminded that even the briefest encounter, a smile in a cloud, a fleeting eye, can spark reflection, joy, and a subtle sense of belonging in the vast, moving sky. And so you continue to watch, quietly, letting the shapes drift, dissolve, and reappear. Your brain hums softly in the background, decoding, recognizing, connecting. The world provides the patterns, culture provides the stories, and your mind stitches them together into meaning. In this delicate balance, you find serenity, insight, and the timeless human pleasure of seeing faces in the sky. The sky begins to soften as the afternoon drifts toward evening, and your eyes follow the slow ballet of clouds. They stretch, fold, and stretch again, indifferent to time, inviting your mind to wander alongside them. Each shape seems to tell a story, yet no story is fixed. It is yours to discover. This gentle act of looking, of allowing shapes to become faces or creatures or fleeting emotions, is more than idle fancy. It is a rehearsal for the dreams that await in the night. Cloud gazing primes the mind in ways both subtle and profound. As you let your attention drift, your prefrontal cortex softens its grip on strict reality, and imagination awakens. The same circuits that recognize faces in random patterns, those tiny neural sparks in the fusiform face area, also play a quiet role in dream creation. In both waking and sleeping states, your brain weaves fragments into narratives, giving life to images that were never fully there to begin with. Consider the act itself. Lying on grass, watching shapes form and dissolve, breathing in a rhythm that echoes the slow expansion of the sky. You might see a smile, a gentle eye, or a face frozen in thought. These apparitions are fleeting, yet they leave impressions, subtle ripples in your mind that extend far beyond the present moment. In dreams, these impressions return as strange yet familiar shapes, a nod from your waking consciousness to the dreaming self. There is a unique intimacy in this exchange between imagination and sleep. As the daylight softens, your mind begins its descent into the nocturnal world, where creativity flows without the usual constraints. Faces glimpsed in clouds become companions in your dreamscape, blending with memories, desires, and the soft hum of your own inner narrative. You may awaken with fragments of scenes that feel both invented and deeply true, as though the sky itself had whispered secrets to your subconscious. Some researchers suggest that people who regularly engage in pareidolia, spotting patterns and faces in randomness, experience enhanced dream recall and more vivid dreaming. The brain, primed by this gentle pattern recognition, is already attuned to creating coherence from chaos. When night falls, it simply continues the work it began in the quiet moments beneath the clouds, stitching together impressions into stories that unfold in the theater of sleep. Notice how your own breathing mimics the gentle rhythm of clouds drifting across the horizon. Each inhale expands awareness. Each exhale releases tension. Let the faces you see float lightly in your mind, like clouds drifting through a soft blue sky. You do not need to chase them. They will come and go as they wish. Some may linger, smiling softly. Others vanish before your gaze can fully grasp them. This impermanence is part of their charm, teaching the mind to accept without clinging. Dreams, like clouds, are ephemeral. They appear, shift, and dissolve, yet their impressions remain. By practicing this gentle observation in waking life, you cultivate a mind both creative and resilient. The faces you perceive are not just illusions. They are invitations to explore the interplay between perception, emotion, and imagination. They encourage curiosity and wonder, both in your waking hours and in your dreams. In this liminal space between day and night, between seeing and imagining, you may find a quiet joy in letting your mind drift. The clouded sky becomes a mirror of your inner world, reflecting fragments of memory, desire, and the infinite possibilities of creativity. As you continue to watch, notice how the clouds respond not to your commands, but to your presence. They move with a subtle grace, reminding you that imagination, like the sky, cannot be forced. It unfolds naturally when given space. And so, as you prepare to drift towards sleep, carry these floating faces gently with you. Let them merge with the soft hum of your thoughts, guiding your mind toward the dreaming world. The shapes, the smiles, the fleeting eyes are all threads woven into the tapestry of your night, each one a gentle reminder of the mind's capacity to create, to wonder, and to wander. The sky above seems ordinary at first glance, pale or streaked with soft gold. Yet as you look longer, it begins to breathe life. Shapes emerge, shadows curling, edges brushing against one another, and suddenly, a face appears. Perhaps it smiles or frowns, or gazes with quiet surprise. In these fleeting visions, something remarkable happens. You are witnessing not just clouds, but reflections of your own inner world. Why do we see emotion in shapes that were never meant to express anything? It is not magic, though it may feel that way. The human brain is exquisitely tuned to faces, to subtle cues that signal joy, sadness, curiosity, or anger. In a cloud, in the curl of smoke, in the shadows on a wall, this tuning reaches beyond necessity. It becomes poetry. What you perceive is often a projection of your current emotional state, a quiet conversation between what you feel and what your eyes seek. A smile in the sky might emerge when your heart feels light. A melancholy gaze might appear when your mind carries weight. This interplay between observation and emotion fosters empathy and mindfulness. As you notice a gentle frown in the drifting clouds, you may realize it mirrors a worry you hold quietly. A laughing face may awaken a memory of joy, unbidden yet welcome. In this simple act of watching, you practice emotional resonance, feeling in the world what is already within you and allowing it to surface without judgment. Consider a moment of stillness. Lie back, breathe softly, and let your gaze float across the sky. Notice the gentle undulations of clouds, the way they fold and part. See a face form, a curious tilt of imagined eyes, a mouth that might be smiling, or a pair of eyebrows knitting together. Pause. Feel the resonance. Ask gently, "What do I see, and how does it feel inside me?" There is no right or wrong answer. The exercise is one of awareness, of tuning into both the sky and your own mind. Emotional perception in clouds is a bridge. It links the external world with the internal, the ephemeral shapes above with the fleeting thoughts within. Each imagined expression, whether happiness, surprise, or sorrow, is an invitation to notice, to recognize, to feel. Your mind practices empathy with the sky itself, learning to observe without rushing, to experience without clinging. Clouds are patient teachers. They drift without expectation, forming and dissolving, allowing faces to emerge and vanish at their own pace. Similarly, your emotions are fleeting, often subtle, and sometimes shifting before you can fully name them. Watching the sky in this mindful way helps cultivate gentleness toward your inner life. You notice a shape of sorrow and let it pass. You see a smile and carry its warmth quietly. No face lingers longer than necessary. No feeling remains unacknowledged. As you continue this quiet observation, notice your own reactions. Perhaps you feel a flicker of joy, a pang of longing, or a simple curiosity. Allow each emotion to exist without judgment, as naturally as the clouds drift overhead. This is the practice of noticing, tuning into the rhythms of both the sky and your heart, discovering that perception itself can be a balm, a form of meditation that balances awareness with softness. Even in a sky heavy with clouds, the exercise continues. Darker shapes may seem stern or serious, yet even these carry meaning. They invite reflection, teaching patience and acceptance. Just as a storm eventually shifts, so too do moods, passing as gently as clouds dissolve into air. By seeing emotions reflected in shapes above, you cultivate a mind that can witness without attachment, a heart that can respond without reaction. Try, if you wish, a small visualization. Let a cloud face appear in your mind's eye. Notice its expression. Breathe in, acknowledging it fully. Breathe out, letting it soften and fade into the broader sky. Repeat, slowly, allowing each face to drift freely, teaching impermanence, teaching presence. Each imagined expression becomes both a mirror and a guide, reminding you of the beauty and fragility of feelings. In these quiet minutes, as faces form and dissolve, you are engaging with the emotional language of the universe. The sky becomes a canvas not just for imagination, but for self-reflection. Every smile and frown is a thread linking you to the delicate, shifting tapestry of inner experience. Watching clouds, noticing feelings, and allowing both to drift. This is a gentle, meditative practice that you carry into the rest of your day and into your night. And as the sky darkens toward evening, you may notice the faces grow softer, gentler, more diffuse. They invite you to carry this awareness with you. The knowledge that emotions, like clouds, are temporary, mutable, and always ready to teach patience, empathy, and quiet attentiveness. There is a subtle magic in simply noticing. A cloud drifts across a soft blue sky, and in its folds, you see a face, a creature, a scene that could exist only in your mind. This is wonder, the quiet, radiant spark that lights up curiosity and stretches the mind towards something larger than itself. It is not merely daydreaming. It is a deep, biological signal that you are alive, alert, and receptive to the beauty and strangeness of the world. Psychologists describe this spark as awe, a mixture of surprise, admiration, and an acknowledgement of something vast or intricate. It slows us down. It sharpens attention. It strengthens our connection with ourselves, with others, and with the world. In the drifting forms of clouds, awe appears naturally, without effort. The shapes invite us to pause, to notice, and to wonder. A face in the sky, a horse galloping through mist, or a tiny cityscape emerging from vapor. Each is an open door to curiosity, a gentle tug that says, "Look closer, see more, feel more." Pareidolia, the tendency to see faces in random patterns, is more than a trick of perception. It is a neural gift. When your brain recognizes a familiar form where none objectively exists, reward circuits activate. Dopamine flows, and the mind feels pleasure. This is the science behind wonder, the small thrill of discovery, the delight in recognizing something meaningful where randomness resides. By allowing yourself to notice these faces, your brain rewards you, encouraging exploration and playful observation. Take a moment now. Let your gaze drift upward. Do not strain. Do not seek a particular form. Simply let your eyes soften and notice the sky as it is. Shapes will emerge as they always do. Perhaps you see a gentle smile, or a curious gaze, or a fantastical creature that seems to float in and out of existence. Let it appear without expectation. Let it pass without attachment. The simple act of noticing without judgment or analysis is itself an exercise in mindfulness, a soft meditation that strengthens both awareness and imagination. There is a profound connection between wonder and well-being. Studies show that moments of awe and curiosity can lower stress, reduce self-focus, and increase feelings of interconnectedness. When you see a face in a cloud, your mind is participating in this gentle process. You are practicing attentiveness. You are allowing joy, surprise, and even gentle mystery to touch you. The mind is softening, stretching, opening. Each cloud face is a tiny teacher, offering lessons in presence, delight, and the beauty of impermanence. Notice how your thoughts respond. Perhaps your mind wants to name the shapes, to classify them, to insist they represent something familiar. Allow this and then gently let it go. The magic of wonder is found in the release of control, in the acceptance of ambiguity. Clouds shift. So too do ideas, feelings, and perceptions. By observing without needing to get it right, you nurture curiosity without pressure, delight without expectation. Invite a playful openness. Imagine the clouds as canvases for your imagination, as mirrors reflecting the vast creativity of your own mind. Faces may smile or frown. Creatures may emerge, then dissolve. Notice them, explore them, and then breathe, letting them fade into the wide, soft sky. This is how wonder teaches patience, attentiveness, and joy. The mind learns that curiosity itself is a reward, that noticing is an act of connection with the moment, and that the world can feel endlessly novel when observed gently. In this way, observing the clouds is not just a pastime. It is a form of meditative science, a blending of biology, psychology, and artistry. Your brain, your heart, and your imagination work together in a subtle harmony. The shapes in the sky are ephemeral, but the spark they create is lasting, a reminder that small acts of noticing can bring immense mental and emotional richness. So linger for a few moments longer. Let your eyes roam. Let the sky shape itself into faces, animals, and impossible forms. Allow your curiosity to play freely without agenda. Notice the pleasure it brings, the lightening of thought, the gentle widening of attention. You are witnessing the simple joy of discovery, a joy that exists beyond time, expectation, or achievement. As the sky shifts, as clouds drift and dissolve, carry this awareness gently with you. Wonder is not reserved for the extraordinary. It is always present in the ordinary, waiting to be recognized. The science of the brain, the biology of perception, and the poetry of imagination converge in each fleeting cloud face. And in this convergence, you touch the quiet, restorative power of awe. Breathe in soft and slow. Let your eyes rest. Let your mind drift. And notice the quiet joy of simply being a witness to wonder. In this gentle act of observation, you are practicing presence, nurturing creativity, and inviting a deep, calm happiness to enter your day and your night. The sky above is a mirror, but not of clouds alone. It reflects the quiet landscape of your mind, the ebb and flow of thoughts, the soft rise and fall of feelings you may not always notice. When you look up, the drifting shapes invite you to look inward. Each cloud is a gentle echo of your inner world, a subtle companion for reflection and contemplation. Notice the fleeting forms above. A face appears and fades. A shape stretches, bends, dissolves. Your mind may do the same. Thoughts arise, linger, and then pass, sometimes gently, sometimes with insistence. Clouds remind you of impermanence, and through this reminder, you are offered a quiet lesson in acceptance. Just as no cloud remains the same, no thought, no feeling, no moment holds forever. You are witness to this natural rhythm, and in witnessing, you practice a kind of gentle mindfulness that calms and steadies. As you watch, consider the connection between temporality and presence. The clouds, like your mind, are constantly changing. A cloud that seems solid and familiar a moment ago may dissolve into mist, leaving the sky open and wide. Thoughts that grip, that swirl with intensity, can also fade when observed without judgment. This is not detachment but gentle recognition. It is the acknowledgement that both clouds and consciousness move in cycles, fleeting yet endlessly renewing. Imagine each cloud as a mirror of a thought or feeling. Perhaps a shape reminds you of joy, or loss, or curiosity. Perhaps it reflects longing, wonder, or quiet contentment. Allow yourself to name it, to feel it, and then let it drift. There is a quiet power in noticing without clinging. The sky holds your reflections without judgment, and in turn, you begin to hold your own thoughts with gentle awareness. This practice, simple and serene, opens a door to a calmer, more spacious mind. Look deeper. You may begin to notice patterns in how your mind interacts with the sky. Do your thoughts follow the clouds, chasing shapes and stories? Or do they settle, letting forms arise and dissolve without urgency? There is a wisdom in both movements. Chasing can be playful, creative, even illuminating. Settling can be restorative, meditative, grounding. Both are natural rhythms, reflections of the mind's inherent flexibility, mirrored in the soft, drifting expanse above. Consider the metaphor of temporality more closely. Each cloud is a lesson in impermanence, an invitation to embrace change. Just as a storm dissolves into clear sky, a fleeting worry or fleeting joy transforms and passes. The sky is ever-changing, yet it remains open, vast, steady. Your mind, too, contains both change and constancy. By observing this interplay, you cultivate patience, acceptance, and a gentle resilience that carries beyond the moment of gazing. Now, bring your attention to the subtle spaces between clouds, the quiet blue expanse that holds them. These spaces are as important as the forms themselves. They represent openness, clarity, and the potential for new thoughts, new insights, and new wonder. Just as the clouds float freely, your mind can rest in these open spaces, noticing without pressure, observing without need, simply being. Let the clouds guide you into a reflective meditation. Imagine thoughts forming, dissolving, reshaping like vapor. Emotions arise, shift, and fade, each leaving a trace of insight or understanding. Allow yourself to watch this gentle flow, neither pushing nor clinging, simply noticing. There is a rhythm here, a quiet dialogue between the sky and the mind. You are both observer and participant, and in this duality, you find calm and clarity. The sky, in its vastness, also offers perspective. From above, small worries and daily concerns shrink. Patterns of life, like patterns in the clouds, appear both transient and beautiful. You are reminded that temporality is universal, and that life's impermanence is not a loss but a space for appreciation, for gratitude, for presence. Each glance upward becomes a meditation on life's fleeting wonders, each cloud a soft teacher in the art of mindful observation. Breathe deeply now. Let the rhythm of your inhalation and exhalation match the gentle drift of the clouds. Feel the soft movement of awareness across your mind, like a breeze stirring the vast, open sky. Thoughts rise and fall, emotions shimmer and shift, and in this movement, there is stillness, an expansive calm that holds you safely, gently, as you look both outward and inward. As your gaze lingers, sense the quiet connection between sky and mind. They mirror one another, the fleeting forms above, the transient waves within. You are both witness and participant, both observer and reflected. And in this reflective practice, you are learning not only to notice, but to understand, to accept, and to be present. Let this awareness settle softly. Know that the clouds will continue their drift, and your mind will continue its flow. Both are natural, both are beautiful, both are fleeting and eternal at once. With this understanding, you carry a gentle calm, a sense of inner spaciousness, and the quiet comfort that comes from truly seeing both the sky and yourself. The sky begins to settle as you breathe slowly, deeply, letting your body soften into the quiet of the evening. The clouds, once sharp in your imagination, now drift gently, like whispers in a dream. Faces that floated for your noticing, playful, thoughtful, fleeting, begin to dissolve, melting softly into the vast blue. You do not need to hold them. They are gifts you have observed, stories you have traced, and now you let them go. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath. Each inhale draws calm, each exhale releases tension. Let your mind float among the shapes as if you are moving through a sea of clouds. Faces appear, not as demands or reminders, but as companions for your quiet journey inward. They smile, blink, and fade. They swirl with the breeze, reminding you that all moments, all thoughts, all forms are temporary, but each leaves a subtle warmth, a gentle trace of presence. Imagine a soft cloud beneath you, cradling your body like a feathered pillow. The sky around you is vast and tender. Faces linger in memory but do not press. They merge with the air, leaving soft echoes of wonder and imagination. Perhaps a familiar smile drifts past, a curious pair of eyes, a laughing shape. These are your mind's playful offerings, ready to accompany you into the calm of sleep. As you lie in quiet awareness, allow your attention to drift with each cloud. Notice how thoughts arise like tiny shapes, some clear, some vague, some half-formed. They move across your inner sky, just as clouds glide across the heavens. There is no need to chase, judge, or hold them. Simply watch. Let them pass. Feel the ease of surrender, the gentle relief of release. The faces you have seen, the shapes you have imagined, now soften further. They dissolve like watercolor in rain, blending with the gentle light of the evening sky. Their presence is soothing, not demanding. They remind you of your own creativity, your own capacity for wonder, and your ability to find beauty in fleeting moments. You carry this gentle warmth with you as your body and mind drift deeper into rest. Focus on the subtle textures around you, the soft rise and fall of your chest, the quiet hum of air moving past, the tiny shifts of your body as it settles into relaxation. Each detail is a cloud, a form, a gentle reminder that you are here, now, and safe. You are suspended between waking and dreaming, a space of calm curiosity where imagination and rest meet. Visualize the faces you have carried today blending into the sky. A smile here, a curious gaze there, a hint of laughter dissolving into mist. They become part of the vast openness, leaving no trace of worry, no sense of needing to remember. They are gifts of creativity, now returned to the vast mindscape from which they arose. You can carry their gentle warmth, their quiet joy, without holding their forms tightly. With each breath, allow yourself to sink further. Feel your muscles release, your mind soften, your awareness settle into the rhythm of sleep. The clouds, the faces, the fleeting stories, they are now companions of your rest, floating alongside you in the gentle current of dreaming. There is nothing to do but notice, nothing to grasp, nothing to control. All is gentle, all is calm, all is safe. If a face drifts across your mind in the last moments before sleep, smile softly, acknowledge it, and let it float away. It does not need your attention. It is a fleeting echo of creativity, a whisper of the imagination, a gentle messenger from the quiet sky within. Let it merge with the softness around you, blending seamlessly with your calm, steady breath. As your eyelids grow heavier, sense the soft rhythm of the world outside and within. The sky stretches infinitely, and your mind mirrors that openness. Each thought, each feeling, each imagined face is a passing cloud. You are the observer and you are safe. You are held. You are calm. You are ready to drift fully into sleep. In the quiet, in the gentle pause between breaths, feel gratitude for the simple, fleeting joy of noticing faces in clouds. For the moments of wonder, the playful imagination, the calm reflection. And now let all forms dissolve completely. The sky is vast, empty, peaceful. Your mind is vast, empty, peaceful. You are cradled in this stillness, floating gently toward the dreams that await you. Rest now. Let the soft cloud shapes, the gentle faces, the quiet awareness carry you into the tender embrace of sleep. Drift with ease. Drift with wonder. Drift into the gentle night, where imagination, rest, and calm converge. The sky has quieted, and so have you. All the clouds, the faces, the fleeting shapes you have noticed today, now rest in your memory like soft echoes of a dream. There is no need to hold them. Their gentle presence has already gifted you curiosity, calm, and a whisper of wonder. Your mind, once wandering among forms, now settles into an open, tranquil space. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the air move through your body, carrying the soft warmth of imagination and the gentle hush of evening. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, any thoughts that might weigh on you. Let them float away like clouds dissolving into the vast blue. Notice how easy it is to surrender, to let the mind rest, to feel the quiet unfolding around you. Remember the simple joy of seeing faces in clouds, the subtle magic of Pareidolia. It is a gift of your mind, a playful spark that brings both curiosity and comfort. Each shape you imagined, each fleeting expression, was a small act of wonder. You witnessed a smile, a thoughtful gaze, a hint of laughter drifting across the sky, and in noticing, you became part of the quiet miracle of observation. Now, allow your awareness to expand, not in thought but in presence. Feel the gentle rhythm of your body, the soft rise and fall of your chest, the warmth of your hands, the calm of your feet. Every detail is a quiet anchor, a tender reminder that you are here, resting, and safe. Let this awareness carry you deeper into the gentle pause between wakefulness and dreams, where imagination flows effortlessly and sleep begins to unfold. As you drift, imagine the clouds once more soft, ephemeral, endlessly shifting. Faces and shapes appear, then fade, blending seamlessly with the endless sky. You carry the essence of their presence, not their forms. The warmth, the curiosity, the playful wonder. They remain with you, like a soft melody playing in the background of your mind. Each cloud, each shape, each imagined expression is a gentle echo of creativity, a quiet celebration of the mind's power to notice, to imagine, to rest. Let your thoughts mirror the sky, open, vast, and unhurried. Notice how easily they can come and go, just like clouds drifting freely above. There is no need to chase them, to control them, to hold them in place. Simply observe, with soft attention, the natural rhythm of mind and sky. This rhythm is gentle, steady, and calming, carrying you toward a place of complete ease. Perhaps, in the quiet moments before sleep, you sense a faint smile in your mind's eye, a familiar expression, a friendly gaze, a playful curve of lips. It is not real, yet it is real in the warmth it brings, in the gentle tug of wonder it leaves behind. Let it be, let it float, let it merge with the infinite openness of your inner sky. You do not need to hold it, you do not need to follow it. It is simply a soft companion for your drift into rest. As you sink further, feel the gentle interplay of imagination and calm. Faces, clouds, thoughts, all float together in harmony, each soft and impermanent. There is no urgency, no expectation. Only the quiet joy of noticing, the simple pleasure of awareness, and the deep, soothing gift of letting go. And now, as your body and mind settle fully, picture the sky beyond tonight. Tomorrow, perhaps, new faces will wait for you. Shapes that invite curiosity, expressions that bring quiet smiles, clouds that drift playfully across the vast blue. The world is full of gentle wonders, always ready to appear when you are open to see them. Carry this knowledge softly, like a secret light, as you descend into sleep. If tonight's journey has brought a pause, a smile, a spark of calm, remember it gently. You are part of this quiet wonder, a witness to fleeting shapes, a participant in the tender dance of imagination. Let this feeling accompany you into dreams, where clouds, faces, and quiet reflections mingle freely in the soft currents of the night. And when you awaken, perhaps you will notice again a curious cloud, a playful shape, a familiar face drifting across the sky, waiting just for you. This is the gift of your mind, the gentle invitation of imagination, the enduring whisper of wonder. If you feel called, share the joy. Comment your favorite cloud face, a fleeting expression that made you smile, a quiet moment of imagination you carried into rest. And if you wish, wander again with me through the skies of thought, dreams, and the soft wonders of the world. Subscribe to The Thoughtful Night, where every evening offers gentle journeys of curiosity, calm, and quiet delight. Now, feel the soft weight of your body, the tender rhythm of your breath, and the quiet hush of the mind. Let all shapes dissolve fully into the vast, peaceful sky within you. Let your awareness settle, light as a drifting cloud, ready to merge with sleep. Drift without effort, drift without concern. You are safe. You are calm. You are resting. Good night.